server. Bleh.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. I didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of this crime.
Dun, dun, dun.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just the same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross the intersection when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the hollow wind calling it out.
Oh my god.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on that day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to them papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Oh my god.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. My job was to keep a wary eye of that bone orchid. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. That ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveler man, so you're out of ammo. You're out of ammo, it's time that I hit the trail. Okay.
Fucking exclusive?
I can't particularly say I care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
How dare you? The judge is an adorable freaking fudgy wudgy. You don't. Fudgy wudgy judgy. You don't dare say that to that adorable. Well, I don't know. You know what I mean? He's freaking adorable. He's an idiot, but he's adorable.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean, the security camera's an ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows a bit about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful.
Yeah.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera on the security monitor. The room was so still. Even Tom wasn't there. I was just the caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing not that useful when the time would come. I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual was recorded, the tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you didn't physically enter the evidence room? But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand.
He didn't want to do his job. He was lazy.
No desperado I know lets the rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the room of the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, I can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How's this guy avoid being fired?
I mean, yeah. I don't have these characters not get in trouble for random shit that they've done.
You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't no good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how the back works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It is well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
Hold the fuck on.
What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
Not even angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongo sepia pasta. What do you mean to tell us? You abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Yep.
Eat some noodles? Not at all, desperados eat tacos, partner. We eat tacos too, not just noodles.
Alright, this guy just walks around. He's freaking walking stereotyping Stephen. It's like, dude.
That's not what I meant. Hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to raise this year?"
I mean, yeah.
Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry back to the west, the sunset. On one thing seems to be clear, despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Exes don't take order from just anyone, everyone knows that.
Oh my god.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card in my sequence. Best keep it cool. Before I use it though, I better up the ante.
Fingerprint? He wasn't, because his fingerprints are on the locker.
Where are we going with? Bingo. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. Yet you dragged me down here? Explain yourself, partner. Quite simple. There's a very large trail behind the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner.
The music
Like
changing.
I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Only wish you were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Mr. Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Huh? I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may give your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. Well, and this happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Why didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. How the fuck do you know that?
Well, he might have been briefed on it.
The witness's explanation appears to be valid, although there is room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. That's my chance to prove it. Gonna present the glove at him.
Well, I would ask, how do you not know he's what the... Oh.
Ask him first. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up with the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. That's found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Because the
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer was wearing gloves. Happened to place their hands on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints. That's the only logical conclusion. Can't let him squirm out of this one. Gotta find something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to this crime. Wait a minute.
I don't think we have anything left. Or, yeah. Yeah, because this is for the other case.
Yeah. Oh! Oh, we do.
That doesn't show him on the tape, though.
But his locker.
That's true.
Damn it, that's not.
Nope.
Wrong statement.
I think it's a little bit later. I was wearing gloves.
No, it's not
Yeah.
either of those. Even I forget sometimes. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered in my fingerprints. It just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me for the mere fingerprints. You wanna know why? I'm related. They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, the other's got to do with the type of murder. He's right. Although similarly alike, they are totally different. Let's see what homonyms have anything to do with this.
Gloves. We already asked him how he knew that, right?
Yeah.
Say we can't press him again, right?
We could. How do you know that? Maybe a loner, but I'd still doing my job. Keep all the reports. There was a blood stain on the scene by the murderer. On Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on the handprint. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Or
it
was
wouldn't
wearing
hurt us
gloves.
to... Okay. So then... Shoot. Okay. Let's switch the locker. Completely unrelated. Urgh. I mean, you said, yeah, the murderer was wearing gloves, so I didn't show him having gloves, I don't think, in the thing.
Let's see. I can't fast forward.
Oh, looks like
Yeah.
maybe? Yeah.
However, his locker currently has nothing in it. You notice.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Pizza's here. 1 second.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're gonna let it go by again. Because that's that Marshall's locker? Okay, chat. No. See, there's nothing right there, right? Nothing right there. But, hold on. There's a little white thing under, right? No, stop it! No! This thing's getting annoying.
Gotta get my pizza. I'll be right back. 1 second.
You're fine. I'm waiting for a certain part in the video to double check something. Like, watch Marshall's locker, right? So there's nothing there. He swings over past the gremlin-looking fucker. He did. But it's there again. See, so at the so how? Nothing there. He's walking over. Nothing there. We go back. Random person's opening there. There goes the gloves. But then also... yeah, and the time is off too, because it went up and then down. Didn't it? Start. Yeah, I'm watching the time. Because that would be at... sorry, I'm trying to write it down. 17, 15, 12. 17, 15, 12 is when it just mysteriously pops up. And at 17... 7, because there's no blood there on his jacket. This is what was bugging me with the shoulder thing. No blood on the shoulder. Right? He slashes him. They fight, and now magically there's freaking blood on the shoulder, on the jacket. Oh, dropped from the locker was a glove. As for the killer, how they leave, I have a theory to that. So you guys know how in Resident Evil, let's just use Resident Evil 2 Remake. The lockers that they have in the room to the side that you can like put in the keys for to unlock the weapons and the extra ammo and the packs and everything. It's in a donut shape, right? So you have the lockers in the middle, which would most likely be these over here, right? So you have the lockers along the side. You have like the wall there, wall there, and then there's these lockers, and there's most likely lockers on the opposite side as well. Because there is the wall in the middle as well, and you can kind of see how there'd be a loop around over there. So if there was another door, let's say on the opposite side of this wall, he could have snuck in around that way. Because I don't see him going, like, past this little thingy, like, behind it, at all in this video. Because if we watch it again, we don't see any, like, white go through here. Yeah, a glove, Poltergeist, that fell from the locker. It was part of evidence in another case. Which we have with us. So unless that's meat, or this guy's, the murder, hand, like you put it over his shoulder or something, how do you explain all that blood on his shoulder? Yeah, because if that's Meeks' hand, that's one thing. Now watch carefully, right? There's nobody here. Even with that hand thing going up? Nowhere. So I think either went over here, if there's a thing behind it, or behind this wall right here. Especially if it's a loop around room. Like how Resident Evil has their setup. Skinny. Blood on the guard's hand, yeah. That would be the only way to explain that. But the only issue with that, though, is that it's the guard's... Hold on. Was it his right hand that was busted, or was it his left? Because if it was the guard's right hand, then it'd be on the opposite shoulder. You know what I mean? I don't think the guard was wearing gloves. God, I wish I could just, like, pause it. Dude, the little gremlin guy also has, fingerprints on him. Because there's a bad guy, he's wearing gloves.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine, you're fine. There's one more thing I'm trying to look for here.
Yeah, I got my pizza, so.
Lucky. Yeah, I don't think he was wearing gloves.
Were you examining this video while I was out?
Mr. Neat, so we were trying to think if he's wearing gloves here. He might be, it's kind of hard to tell from here. It also looks like there might be a handprint on the, gremlin's freaking face. The blue badgers.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Not being gumshoe, though.
But anyway, one thing that popped out to me while watching the tape, and I thought it was just a glitch, that triangle-shaped thing underneath, it disappears at the beginning, but then it reappears at the end.
Yeah, it looks like cloth. That's what I was trying to get at.
That was the thing that, we saw crammed into the locker when we were in the locker room. It was still there. See, still not there.
Yeah, so I think it's Detective Marshall's locker.
And then another thing that I was noticing was the blood on this dude's shoulder during the altercation.
Oh? I didn't know that.
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. See, it's right after he lunges at him. See, he grabs him, and then there's blood now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Could have been Meekin's blood.
It could have been, but I don't want to say it, but I need to go back and try to find that picture.
Yeah, another cloth's gone. Alright, give me one second. I need to throw away this paper plate and we're good to go. Wanna keep playing it?
Really quick, can you go to the photo that they have of her in front of the car?
Lana? Yeah. Alright, let me throw away this paper plate real quick while you examine.
So in the photo that we don't have anymore, it's just one of those flashback photos. It didn't show that the detective had anything on the jacket, right? On his jacket. But it shows at the same place as hers almost. It's only on the shoulder. Yeah, Polar, I know that there's some in the locker. That's what I noticed beforehand. Because I thought it might have been a glitch. Because I know that they're all very deep in with the SL9 case, right?
All right, I'm back. Okay. So what did you figure out? What'd you figure out, Rain?
I think... So, Lana is obviously being framed. 100%.
Think so?
My only thing is, I don't know if it's just because of, like, the artistic way they went about it, but the blood is on the same area via the jacket, as they show in the video.
Oh! Oh, you're right, it is.
But I know she...
Why did she have his jacket on, though? That's the question.
That's what I'm wondering, because the jacket on the corpse did not have that blood stain.
You're right, it didn't.
So I know that that was not the detective.
Okay, so what do we want to present on him, then?
Marshall, that thing in the locker.
Okay, but which statement you want to present it on? You gotta prove it on the right. Maybe you gotta present the locker itself.
Yeah, let's try doing that first. Let me save it. Because I have a feeling I'm wrong.
Well, it just depends on what statement you want to present it on. Which one do you want to present it on? You want to present it on this one?
On the murder test locker.
Nope.
Oh no, I was talking about the white thing. Yeah.
Talking about which one?
Unrelated.
You want it on this one or this one?
I don't know.
We gotta present it on the right statement.
It says only national identified fingerprints in the evidence room. No, would you? Stop it.
It's fine, it's fine. So...
Let's see. Oh, you already pressed him about the wearing gloves thing, right?
Yeah. Well, we need to. I think we need to present it on this one, though. I think we need to do it on this one, though.
Okay.
But it's wrong. You know he's wearing gloves, but sometimes you just throw stuff at it and see what sticks. That's what I used to do a lot. At that point, you're just guessing, but do you have a decisive guess of what you want to throw?
So, I know I want to show him the video.
But it's having on the correct statement.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That their locker happens to be mine. That's what we needed. I forgot the rest. That locker happens to be mine.
Okay.
What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective.
Still in there, as in the video.
The locker I still use. All that's in there now is just a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming.
Okay.
He must have been using the fingerprint lock without even knowing, without all this time without ever knowing it. There we go. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? Picture? This sealed blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards.
Okay.
How do you manage to get the knife and cord? Yeah, right? There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. So long as my trail isn't there, you can't say otherwise.
You want to bet?
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue with your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? Oh, maybe I gotta press on him first. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner?
Yeah.
If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth.
Yeah, the locker, though. Is that
The floor isn't shown. Yeah, the locker, yeah.
17? I wrote down the time.
If someone's familiar with this camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
True.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do let us know. You know. There we go. Now we can do it.
Finally.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence.
It's at 17, 15, 12. That's right, Boba's taking notes. Neater, neater, neater.
Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum.
Right there.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers.
The days are not
Some of what
short.
you have to say, it's the same time as everywhere other place. What are you talking about? Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in this video. That locker with a white claw sticking out of it. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Could rewind it faster, Phoenix.
It's for dramatic buildup. Now you see it, now you don't.
The white cloth is gone! What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. It suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the security camera turned away. Order! It would seem that this is all... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened my locker and stuck it in. He's opened the locker and stuck it in. Is that my fault he happened to choose mine? Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who could open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I open that locker, and I'll prove it.
Yeah.
A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? Oh, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't obvious. There are some people in the force that don't even know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got one word for you, partner. No! Order, witness, explain yourself. This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what were you doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime? Ole, please answer the question.
What the fuck?
What is he now, a bullfighter?
He's trying to be.
That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room.
Oh,
Yeah, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he knew for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman?
That's true.
He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his cards, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled out a knife on me! I can't do that voice any longer. Oh, it's so hard.
It's adorable, though.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Huh? As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture's on this ID card. Oh, I get it! Do you really, though? If he had shown that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You got quite an imagination, partner. You got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. I have to do better than that to break a detective. And she have odd evidence prove that it's dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Quit harassing the poor judge over his beard.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one, but what can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone has told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. Basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Thinking outside the box. Phoenix,
This is you.
try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. Or rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think his locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. It means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. And afterward, the crime was committed. He opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence of the video's my only shot.
YT? I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but thank you so much for the follow.
Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please
Okay.
show us why the witness had to open his locker. What do you think, Rain?
It's gonna bug me, and I know I'm gonna get this wrong. But there's one part that just irked the heck out of me. Because if he is indeed dressed up like that, he doesn't like that. The blood?
Hmm. Don't you wanna?
I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but yeah.
I can't say, so we're just going for it.
Let's go. Let me
For
see
some
the
reason, you disguise
options.
For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh?
2 years ago, you're only half as persistent as you are today. We all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. Seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I sold the detective ID's card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 515. So the supposed victim really was you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantities of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. No one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
Mm-hmm.
There was way too much blood to be for such a small donation.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say, please say it.
When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? Yes, on 9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It's going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost.
Okay.
I don't care what anyone says, partner, that case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
Maybe
That
feels
day was
guilty.
my last chance. That's why Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I saw that the morning of the incident. That really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left by Officer Marshall? So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could, because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker for Officer Marshall. He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. I was a Meekins, silly as a one-in-a-million type person.
Hear me out here,
Chad.
Chad.
For an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
So I know that he said that he took out a blade.
I'll have to think a little
right?
more. I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise at this year.
What if that was a different blade than the one in the SL9?
Ezra gets so much influence.
Yeah, the SL9 instant.
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way.
So somebody got the evidence out of.
Oh wait, what happened to your knife?
He went to
you mean
Goodman's
this
locker
one?
to try to get some evidence or the files for the SL9 case.
I don't know what to say.
That's after
So what did you do?
already got murdered and shit.
I didn't see what he said. So you did your research beforehand. Those who got into the desert unprepared, those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long enough, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. All gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coats in your struggle with the Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during the time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. But what you're saying is, on that day... But the blood found in the scene certainly indicates that a crime took place. But are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. But you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't.
Called it!
Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where's that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty? Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Yeah.
Wait, partner, it's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID card, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This would have serious consequences. I can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get the answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of... Maybe. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Because it said on the Marshall, right?
Yeah. Joe Dock was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say before is of his sentence. I remember that Joe Dock case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but it's something that still bothers me. Something that went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I have a feeling we wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned here. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor's award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 incident could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, that mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time, the murder of the prosecutor's office. This fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait, a verdict was reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. You have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case. Great word response.
I like it.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder in the security camera tape really was a fake. I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Yay! Your Honor, wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense?
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please?
I don't want to leave any loose ends.
Oh, Edgeworth does have a heart. That's actually kind of cute.
You want some minutes? I'll give you 3.
Aww. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings?
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Stitcher are in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day? So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. They left only one thing, the other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No. No.
No.
I called it.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please say no. Please tell me there's more. Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
No, I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy. Time's up now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. I can't be more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr.
Wait
Wright.
a minute. Please tell me that I was right in that thing. With the badger. In the video.
No.
It looked like it had a handprint on it.
That's just paint.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, I'm talking about in the... Oh, wait. That is the same one, isn't it?
Yep.
Dang it!
I mean, it looks like a handprint, but it's paint. I mean, yeah, look at it. It is a handprint.
I got excited, okay? I forgot we had an actual, like, colored picture of it.
Yeah. But you're not wrong. It is a handprint. It's the shape of a handprint. It is the shape of a handprint, but it's paint. That's probably Detective Gumshoe. Because he's the one who made the Blue Badger. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. We kind of do. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint in Detective Gumshoe's locker? Saving. Could there be something I'm missing?
I object.
Obviously. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. We're grasping right now.
We really are.
The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
You know what? Bite me, edgelord. Okay, we're trying.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Oh. You mean something that hasn't been drawn there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use.
Right, we have like 2
What?
lines of it.
The question is, what's time to prove something was missing? The Blue Badger. The Blue Badger's missing.
So I was half right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it as a win.
What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans at the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when I put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Oh.
Hmm?
It's blocking the locker.
Yeah.
Well, what?
And then we went behind him.
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing there, it would have been impossible to place a handprint at this spot in the locker. What? So that means, just exactly what does that mean?
The judge is
Come
our
on,
college.
Judge, you can do it. You can put it together. Come on now. It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in the locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
He's not wearing high heels, those are spurs on the back of his boots.
I mean, he's sassy enough to be wearing high heels, I'm just saying.
They're spurs.
I know they're spurs, let me have my fun.
Emma!
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave the handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Just one moment. I would not allow such a far-fetched balderdash in my court.
Balderdash.
Excuse me. This kind of stuff has flown in this courtroom many times. It's about to get even crazier in the other two games. Just you wait.
Well, I think it's funny because, like, I'm not going to let some far-fetched, like, dude, the last 3 cases
Yeah,
that we've done,
know, right?
there's even been more crazy random bullshit that's happened than this. So.
I mean, last 4 cases, actually, but yeah.
Remember, I didn't get to play with the
first
one
two,
with
yeah,
you.
you didn't get it. Yeah, that's true. Because I didn't think about it until after I started. It's like, I wish I had my friends.
Yeah, and then you're like, hey, Ray, how do you feel about getting up first thing in the morning?
Hey, Rain, you want to get up with me and,
It's like,
you know, be
let
my
me get
best friend?
Covfefe or my Celsius, and sure, let's do this.
And it's been nothing but fun having you with me here, so I appreciate you. I
Yay.
appreciate you being here, Rain. I appreciate it. And Zeno wants me to show you the entire series, so
No.
So I
I
guess you're
called his
stuck
ass
with me,
out
right?
on it this morning. He goes, hey, maybe. Like, there's no maybe I have to text.
You're stuck with me, Rain.
I know.
I'm going to carry you on my back. I'm carrying you on my back through the entire series.
Hey, you're not carrying me throughout the entire series. Okay, I have been good so far with
No,
finding out who the
I'm
douchebag
no.
evil
I'm
people
not saying
are.
that. I mean, I'm carrying you on my back metaphorically. I'm taking you through the entire series. Is what
Blech.
I mean. Yeah, I know you want to know what happens.
Eldering, what's up? Yes, I do. And I have a theory right now. However, I need a piece of proof or evidence to solidify what I want to do or what I want to say.
Is Rain gonna be the magical girl? She's kind of a magical dragon girl.
Ooh, but no. It's a little ooh.
Ooh, ooh.
It's like, ooh, but no.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. You mean Sailor Moon? That's the only magical girl I know.
You don't know Tokyo Mew Mew? Well, you said Sailor Moon. There's Madoka Magica, technically. There's Princess, or was it the Pretty Princess? Something, Pretty Princess Peach or something like that. There's
The
Magical
only magical girl
Doremi.
anime, the only magical girl anime I've ever watched was Prince Sailor Moon growing up.
I literally only know all these princess things because I'm being forced to cosplay them later this year.
Oh, Black Eye, yes, I know what you're referring to. Never mind, that's something we'll get into later.
Huh? Shadow?
That's something we'll talk about later.
Question
Way
mark?
later.
That sounds like something from
Way-
Konosuba. Come on.
No, there's a character way later in the series that you'll probably like. That you'll really
I'm
like.
open. Just don't tell me it's
I know-
another Mia. I can't handle another me in this game. I already got
Another
2.
Mia?
Another me. We already got 2 of them in this game. We have freaking
Oh, another
me.
you.
Yes.
Oh. Maybe.
We have 2 in this game. I don't need a 3rd one.
Maybe. Maybe. It doesn't come till like the second trilogy though. So.
Okay, first of all, Polar, I did not walk away for 45 minutes, okay? At max, it was 10, and that's because the doggo decided to be a brat and go through the freaking hole in the fence. Submit.
But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been.
Don't.
Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Okay, I have an idea.
The murder portrayed
So,
in the
I
security
think
tape has been proven to be a
it's
fake.
Gant.
However,
Gant
That
and
is
Lana are the
explains the
only 2
blood mark
people
on
left
the
on the
locker.
suspect list. And if he can clear him,
so then,
freaking Marshall
assuming
right
this
now,
murder you
boom,
or
it's
what
gotta be
really
Gant.
happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that
So
proves
what
when it occurred.
if Goodman wanted to get into the SL9 case
When did the first
just
incident
like
occur?
Marshall? Or Marshall asked him to
To
get the
summarize, the
files for
defense
him,
claims
but
that-
since he never showed up,
Prior to
Marshall
Officer
went
Meekins
ahead
being
and did
cut
it
by Chief
himself.
Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman,
Right?
another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this.
So
Very
what
well,
if
then tell us.
he went
When
to his
did this
locker
first incident
to
occur?
get
As
the
Mr.
evidence files he
Edwards
had
said.
in the locker?
Proof must
He
be
was
presented.
stopped by Gant.
Proof that shows when the murder took place.
For some reason or
There's
another,
only one
didn't
piece of
want
evidence I
that
can
shit
show
out.
that.
He
Now
took the
then,
knife
will the
from
defense
that
please
case
present
that
its
he had
evidence?
his evidence
That's
in
what
the
I say.
locker and murdered
Rain?
his ass. If it still doesn't explain how he got from point A to point
Rain?
B. Allie!
What shows what? Do you know?
I was trying to explain something to Chad, I'm sorry.
You know which evidence shows that the crime, when the first crime took place?
The ID card? The record? Because there is a 77 at the very top.
Yeah.
Because it's the ones at 514 or whatever is with the one at 515 that would happen in the...
777777777. We don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We don't know who that is, but 420 would be a accurate time then.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if he was killed there, and it would take about half an hour for them to get the body to where it's supposed to be, that'll give them ample time. ID says 59 and scroll down.
So you say the evidence room then?
The ID card record, yeah.
The crime took place inside the evidence room. The crime took place inside the evidence room. Then the killer would have had to enter it, and in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it.
Someone took his ID
I'm
card.
afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim and carry his body away and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again.
420A.
There's only one other card number remaining. The lucky sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there was no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777.
Lucky number?
Mr. Edwards, please look into this ASAP. I know whose ID number is 77777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor.
Who cares? Quit picking on the poor judge.
Unfortunately, I'm able to look up the owner of this blood ID card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with the rank of Captain of Hire. Someone who's a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire as a person's identity. That's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. An official charge filed against an executive. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
You got this.
An official charge? Blah. Can't read. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Bitch, please.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Jiggle physics.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lalana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 777-7777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I wanted to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really use only legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat this question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Ugh.
Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Lavender, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me in, investigator? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Damn, that's the first time I've seen without his hat on.
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't!
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
What? Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence.
Oh, shit. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order! 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 Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. At the conclusion of the trial, we have to wait until the following day.
But the dude was still guilty though, right? Because they had...
You mean Marshall? Guilty of what?
No, not Marshall. Because they're talking about the crime from 2 years ago. That was Dark, or
Joe Dark. Oh, you mean, yeah.